Hi guys, and welcome to another Python tutorial. In this video we want to discuss list in Python, so let's get right into it. So what's a list, or what are lists? A list is a collection of data. Okay, now a list is simply a collection of data, and that collection of data, this collection of data right here, okay, this collection of data can be data type of int, it can be data type of string, it can be data type of it can be a data type of int, it can be a data type of string, or any data type at all. Okay, it can even be a data type of a list itself. So that's what a list is, simply collection of data. Now how do you write a list, or how do you make a list in Python? So you make a list by simply writing the name of the list in Python. Let's say we have a list of countries, okay, and you say countries equal to, and then you open a square bracket like this, and then I'll simply write the name of countries I love. So I could write India. Sorry guys, let me just rub this off and write it properly. So let's say I've been to India, right, and I've also been to Nigeria, okay, and any other country I've been to. So let's say India and Nigeria for now, and I would leave it at that. Now on this list of countries which I've created, there are a lot of things you can do on this list. Okay, so the first thing you can do is append. So these are the list methods in Python. So I can append to this list. Append simply means you want to add something to the list. So let's say I have this list of countries, and then I append one more country. So over here I'm just going to say I append one more country. For example, I append Spain. Okay, now that means I'm going to add Spain to the last side of the list. Okay, so this place over here, Spain is going to be under this index 2, because this is going to be 0, this is going to be 1, and this is going to be the new append will come here, so it's going to be 2. Pop means you want to get something out of the list. Okay, and you can give pop you can give pop an index as well. Okay, if you don't give pop an index, it's going to just get the very last value which you put into the list, right? Now insert as well means you want to, of course, insert something into the list. It takes a value, and then it takes the data you want to insert into the list. Index means you want to get like an index, okay, of a particular value in the list. Count means you want to count how many times a value exists in the list. Reverse simply means you want to reverse the list. Now sort means you want to sort the list, as the name implies, in alphabetical order, or from the highest to the lowest. That means you want to sort the list. And extend means you want to join two lists together. Okay, and I'll show you different way of extending to lists. So suppose you have a list of countries, and then you have another list of states. Okay, so then you have another list of states. So you can do different states. Okay, and then I want to join those states. So another state is Lagos, and then I want to join the states and the country. I can simply use the extend to do that. Now another thing you have on a list is the copy feature. So this is used to copy a list from one list to the other, and then you have clear, which helps you to clear a particular list. So let's get into Visual Studio Code and see all this list practice right here. Okay, so I'll simply fire up my command prompt, and of course go into desktop, right, and then I'll just open Visual Studio Code, and I've already gone ahead to create a Python file called list. And this is going to open Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to clear this and just start again. So what I want to do right here is just create a list of countries, like I said. Okay, so a list of countries equals, and then I'll write the list of countries I want to create. So the first country I want to write in there, right, is India, and then the next country I want to write is Nigeria, and I'm going to write the United States. Then I would also write one more country. Okay, so I'll write let's say Togo, right, or Ghana. So I'll write Ghana. All right, let us now see some functions we can perform on this particular list. The first thing you want to do is how to know how to get a particular value from the list using the index number of the list. So if I want to use the index number to get a particular value, all I have to just say is the print statement. So if I do the print statement and I just do countries, right, save that, and then call up my command prompt as usual. And if I do this, guys, I'll just clear this quickly and run my program so you see what comes up. So Python list.py, and I hit the enter key, and you see I have India, Nigeria, United States, and Ghana. Okay, now let's say I want to just print out the first country in the list of countries. All I have to do is do this and then give it the index 0 of that country, because the truth is India is going to take up the index of 0, Nigeria is going to take up the index of 1, United States 2, and Ghana 3. Okay, so okay, and then I'm going to save that, and of course I'm going to fire up my command prompt once again and run that one. So you see, and it prints out India. Okay, so list of countries 0 prints out India. If I just change this to 1, right, save this again and bring this up, and you have 1 is going to print out Nigeria. Okay, so I know you get the point right now. Now what can you do again? So you can actually loop through this list and then print you can loop through the list and print every element you have in the list. Okay, so how do you do that? You simply use a for loop. Okay, so I'll just show you how I can use a for loop to just iterate through the list. So for country, in countries, remember our for loop, guys. If you didn't watch the video, you just have to go back and watch the video. So for country, in countries, just print country. Okay, that's all. Okay, so this is all. I'm going to save this and call up my command prompt and clear this, and then I'll print this. So you see, fair enough, it has India, Nigeria, United States, and Ghana. Okay, so that is how you loop through a list. Now for the list method, okay, let's now deal with the list method. Now the first list method I told you is append. Okay, or not append really, but let's start with append. Okay, so you simply just have to say countries, right, and you say dot append. So you can see a lot of, if you put the dot using your Visual Studio Code, you can already see like list methods already coming out here, right? So the first is dot append. What does dot append do? You can actually add to this list using dot append method. So I'm just going to say countries dot append, right, and what country do I want to append? So let's say I want to append Togo, for instance. Okay, So I want to append Togo to this list, and I just have to save that and print the new list. So if I print the new list right here, okay, print the list of countries, okay, yep, countries, and save that. Now the new list, let's just see what is going to be printed out here. You can now see that we have Togo at the end of the list. Okay, so this is already supposed to start giving you an idea that a list can be used to implement like what we call a stack in computer science. And then so this is how you use a list to implement a stack. So if you use the append, okay, without giving it any value or any index number, it's going to add the particular value to the last index of that list. Okay, so that's how you use append. Now what else can you do? Okay, you can call the list and use pop. Okay, so instead of append, you can say countries, right, and dot pop. So pop is going to return the last value as well from the list. Okay, so if I just say pop, okay, and I save that, now if I print the so let me just print this right here, print pop, okay, and then I have to save this. Now one more time, let's run this code. So of course we're going to have pop, which is the second one, is going to print out Togo. Okay, it's going to print out Togo, guys. Now the next command you need to know as regard list is the so the clear command is going to clear the list. I don't want to do that. Let me show you what the count command does. So I want to see how many times do I have the country India in my list. All I need to do is just write this and say India, and it's going to tell me how many times I have India on my list. Okay, so let's print that as well. I'm gonna print that right here. All right, and then what's the next command? The next command is going to be countries, right, dot, and then you have extend. Extend is going to join two lists together. Now we can do the insert command. So what does the insert command do? Now the insert command is expecting like index, and then it's expecting an object or a string in this case. So I'm going to say insert at index 1. So it's going to insert before you have the index 1, and then it's expecting an object. Okay, so I'm just going to add one more country right here, and let me just add simply India once again. So you have India 2 times in the list, okay, being added right now. So having done this, I'm just going to save this, and over here I will print my list to see exactly what I have, right, and save that. So let's print what we've done so far. We have this, and then we have India, and you can see because we have this insert command in position 1, it's going to shift Nigeria and then insert India again. Now if we use a count method again, you're going to see that India is going to give us 2. Now over here we're using a count method, okay, so you can see that India is giving us 1 right here, and then we're adding India to the list using the insert method, okay, and it's going to give us 2 if we try to count the method once again. So one more thing I would like to show you is that we can use the extend method to join two lists together. So suppose I have a list of new countries, right, new countries, and then my list of new countries should just be okay, my list of new countries. I'll say let's just pick London. Let's just pick another country. Let's just pick London. Let's pick Tanzania. Okay, so let's pick London and Tanzania as my list of new countries. Now let's say I want to add list of new countries into the list of countries. What do I do? All you need to do is use your countries once again. So just say countries, right, and then .extend. Okay, so I'll use the .extend, and extend is going to be expecting a list as well. So, and then I can now add new countries just like this, right? So I'm going to save this, and fair enough, if I print my countries right here once again, you would see that my countries will now include the countries and then the new countries. Okay, now what other method do we have available to us on that list? We've talked about the copy helps you to copy a list into a new list. Talked about remove. No. Okay, so let's do the remove. Okay, so I have two India, guys, remember from the last distance. So what I can do is remove India, right? So this is going to remove the first occurrence of the value, which you can see right here. So it's going to remove the India at index 0, which is the first occurrence of India in the list. So if I save this and I print this list out right here of countries, save that, and let me go back to my okay. So what I want to do is just clear that and print it. Okay, so run the program, and of course what you see right here is the first print statement. Okay, and it's just printing the list of countries after appending Togo, and you see Togo right there. And I was able to print, I was able to pop, so pop, and pops bring out the last element, which is Togo, and then the next one is 1, which is count, the count method, which I'm using right here. How many times do we have India here? 1. And then I'm printing out the countries after inserting India. Now on the last print statement, you see that India is gone. So here we have 2 India, and on the last one we have just 1. Why? Because I'm using the countries.remove, and I'm using the remove method to take away the first instance of India in this list. Okay, so I'm just going to clear that, and then I'll show you one last command, one last method you should be familiar with. Now if you're using the Visual Studio Code and you've set up your Visual Studio Code like mine, you're going to see that once you call your list and you use the dot operator, you're going to see a list of methods available to you. Now let's just sort this list. Okay, now when we click on countries.sort and save this, okay, now we will print countries. Okay, Control S. When you print countries.sort and then you print countries, let me show you what happens. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up once again, and then I'll run it. This. Alright, so look at what countries.sort does, and then print countries. So you discover that Ghana now stays first, and then India, London, Nigeria, Tanzania, and United States. So it sorts the country according to the it sort the country in alphabetical order. Okay, so that's what happens. Now you can add like a reverse here, but so it sort the country in reverse order, but list countries.reverse is going to give you like the reverse form of that. So what you need to just do is, if you want to reverse that, you can just simply say country dot what dot reverse. So you see it right there. Then you save this and print the, and I'm going to just run this code once again. Okay, and you can see it has reversed the sorting. In this, before this, you had it sorted in alphabetical order. Now after this, you can see how it reversed the sorting in this new line. So this is all about list. In the next video, we're going to talk about other data structures in Python, like the tuples, like the dictionaries, and so on. And then we move on to object-oriented programming. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, guys.